ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mikey Report for December 7th. There we go. 2010. I am Mikey Edwards inside our normal Mikey Report headquarters. Of course, I would do it out in our news broadcast out in the lounge. However, we've had a little change in our plans because of a good amount of people being out there in Damiani Lounge. So I will discuss that and I'll take you to them in just a moment, but first, here's what I'm working on. The Bush tax cuts that we're working on are only just 37% of that total deal. Despite being billed as a great debate over the tax cuts, struggle between President Obama and congressional Republicans appears to have ended with the extension of the 01 and 03 tax cuts, representing only about that 37% of the cost of the agreement Obama announced Monday night. In August, the Congressional Budget Office, which is nonpartisan, supposedly, estimated that a 2-year extension of the tax cuts for 2011-2012 would amount to around $336 billion. The New York Times estimates the cost of the package under consideration at $900 billion. So there's a lot of facts and figures that would be added, but we don't need to delve into those details because we don't have that much time between segments. But in other news that's big on the political spectrum, Elizabeth Edwards passed away after struggles with breast cancer at the age of 61. The estranged wife of John Edwards, best-selling author and the driving force behind her husband's political career, passed away before it was destroyed by his infidelity. Friends described the scene as peaceful, with Edwards with her surrounded by loved ones, gravely ill with cancer that no longer responded to treatment. She was reportedly not in any pain and was surrounded at home in North Carolina by friends and family, including the former Democratic presidential candidate. It was around 10:15 Tuesday morning, according to a family friend, that she passed. Scene was, as described, very peaceful. She didn't want people to say she lost her battle with cancer. Battle was about living a good life and that she won. So, many blessings and condolences to the rest of the Edwardses. Now to some other news. UPS is requiring photo IDs for shipping packages. And for customers at retail locations around the world, a month after explosives made it onto one of the company's planes, Atlanta-based package courier said Tuesday move is part of an ongoing review to enhance security. The directive will apply at the UPS store, mailboxes, etc. locations, and other authorized shipping outlets. Customer centers have required government-issued photo IDs since 2005. In late October, printer cartridge on a cargo plane bound for Chicago was stopped in London after explosives were discovered. Package was later traced to a retail location in Yemen. Stepped-up security also comes as UPS prepares for its busiest shipping day of the year. They expect to deliver 430 million packages between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and 24 million alone on its busiest day, projected to be December 22nd, up 60% from a normal day. So that's definitely some interesting news on that front. A woman thought to be dead in an Ohio crash is alive, according to an AP report. Woman thought to have been killed in the Ohio car crash was actually alive, forcing police to rush to reach her family in Pennsylvania. Before a priest could deliver the bad news, 20-year-old Megan Green is in critical condition at Pitt's Medical Center. Steubenville Police Chief William McCafferty said he was hearing unofficially from the scene of Monday's two-vehicle crash that one of the drivers had died. He said Tuesday it was unclear where that information originated. Called the family's parish priest near Scranton, PA, and asked him to notify her family in Susquehanna. At that point, he contacted family himself before the priest arrived. McCafferty did this once he found out the woman was alive. So good news there. Some news, of course, today is the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. Just 20 people left from the USS Arizona and only 5 healthy enough to travel. Pearl Harbor was marked by the few survivors from the incident 69 years ago. Fortunate few hundred men to get off alive as the battleship crumpled and sank at its berth, taking 1,177 of its 1,400-member crew to their deaths. So we are fortunate for the brave men and women that have fought for our lives. And in business news, before we get to some crazy weather news, especially more about lake effect snow from the western half of the state, from the northwestern part of the state and western New York, stocks got a jolt from the tax deal, but ended the day mixed. At one point, NASDAQ and S&P 500 traded above their highs for the year at one point, but ending as the major market indices show at the close of the day, the Dow down 3 points to 11,359, NASDAQ Composite up 3.5 to 2598.5, and the S&P 500 up just under, well, about 2/3 of a point to 1223 3/4. Now let's get to weather, where it's just been a crazy week and a half for snow crews up in near the Great Lakes region of western New York and Pennsylvania, as bands of snow blasting off the lakes buried one western New York town under 4 feet of snow and causing a pileup that left motorists stranded for hours on the stretch of I-80 in northwestern PA. Lake effect storms were whipped by gusty winds, closing schools and disrupting traffic as far north as the Lake Ontario shore in Randolph, New York. Rural town 50 miles south of Buffalo, motorists were banned from driving Tuesday after the area received 40 inches officially, with some seeing even more. I think my armpits are higher than that, so I'd say 4 feet, Town Supervisor Dale Sen told the AP over the phone. Forecaster says this blast isn't over, with bands of heavy snow expected to continue into Wednesday. Snow was being fed by Lake Erie, which borders western New York, northwestern PA, and northern Iowa, and Lake Ontario along New York's northwestern edge. More was forecast for Thursday, though in lesser amounts. So definitely expect school closures through Wednesday, if not longer. As we move on to our local forecast, where we're only seeing probably a few snow showers here and there, but we're expecting a cold snap Monday and Tuesday before a slight warm-up going into the middle of the week and the end of finals week here in Phoenixville. But first, let's go to Lake Ariel, where we're looking at 17 for the low tonight. Local readings are 25 for the Mount Cobb Lake area, 33 down here in Phoenixville, and about 78 in our feature city of the month, Honolulu, Hawaii. But we will actually delve into that a little bit more after the break, as we continue with more Mikey Report after this.